Hello, this is Ginger Joy, and you're joining me for a Tending the Field resource meditation. So, what I would like to do today is to guide you through an exploration of the difference between what it feels like in your body to be in a place of empathy for another, and what it feels like in your body to be in a place of compassion for another. And these are two different ways of sensing and being with another person that we care about. So, something interesting to notice about this and to know about this before we begin is that empathy uses a part of our nervous system that has a lot to do with feeling with somebody else, feeling what they're feeling. We're using the part of our nervous system that has mirror neurons, and that allows us to get a lot of information about what it's like to be that other person. It's like our nervous system joins them in their experience. So when we see someone excited and happy and doing well, we can join in that celebration and joy with them. It also can mean that when they're really in suffering and pain, we can also feel that too. We feel that pain as though it was our own. So it uses a part of our nervous system that actually is the same um, process of sensing pain when we use empathy. So it's really helpful to notice that because it can be quite depleting in our system if we're using it all the time. So on the other hand, there is compassion. And compassion is a way of sensing another, but it isn't so much joining our nervous system with them. We can actually be very present and sense what's happening for them and feel a lot of care and concern for them without necessarily feeling their feelings. Um, and this isn't about one way being right or wrong. This is about understanding that they have different qualities and different uses. So for now, let's just see what happens if we begin a bit of a meditation. What I'd like you to do is just to let yourself find a comfortable seat, get your cushion all right. And we're going to kind of let your attention drop back inside your own system to let yourself just slow down and just sense being in your own body, in your own skin, sitting, whatever you're sitting on, bringing some awareness to what connects you to gravity. Just a little bit of grounding to start. And as you feel your body settling down, you can also notice your breath. You might take a slightly deeper breath to release a little bit more into gravity, or you might already feel comfortable. So from this place, I'd like you to think of someone you care about, someone that you know has been going through maybe a bit of a difficult time recently, that you feel some concern for. And I want you to imagine them sort of sitting over to one side in front of you. And on this side, you're going to be feeling into what's been happening for them. Consider here with the empathy what it would be like to be going through what they're going through. Picture them in your mind, the position of their body, the expression on their face. As you see some of the suffering that they've been going through. And notice in your own body, you don't have to go into this too deeply. Just notice, as soon as you notice some of the places in your own body that's responding, that might feel some of that heaviness or anxiety or that helplessness, just checking somatically is like, what happens inside when you join them in that experience. So I'd like you to not stay there too long. So once you've taken a little bit of a snapshot of that, let yourself drop back into your seat, back to your breath in your chair, where you are now in the present, and feel you kind of reclaiming that energy. Yeah, this is you here. So now we're going to experiment. And over on the other side of you, we're going to have them sit over on that side now. So I want you to imagine this time as you're sensing them, you're starting with this feeling inside of how much you care for them, feeling a lot of love and desire for their well-being. Compassion is the desire for the well-being, the freedom, and the health. May you be free, may you be happy, may you be well. And you might even feel like you might notice I'm touching my heart. You might notice that beginning in your body as a sense of warmth that radiates out. And then picture that person offering that warmth to them, seeing just the same as with empathy, just the same person with the same struggles, the same suffering, and a true desire in your body for their well-being. What's that like? Track the sensations and the locations inside your body. Notice how your breath moves and how your body sits from this place of compassion. May you be well. May you be free. May you be happy. So we're going to bring ourselves back to our seats again, this present moment here for yourself. And you might have noticed I allowed us to sort of rest in that a little longer. Generally, compassion is a lot safer for our nervous systems, and it's quite nourishing and resourcing. It actually brings energy in and allows us to have more freedom to respond, to actually see what's happening, and to actually take action. So if we shift our attention back again to what it's like to feel empathy with them on this side of you, feeling into the suffering, feeling into that helplessness and despair. And sense again how that lands in your body. What happens to your breathing, any tension that might show up. And as we're here feeling with this person, see if you can drop back into your seat so you don't fall too deep into them. And consider here, with these sensations in your body, what's your capacity to be helpful for them? Notice how your body wants to respond. It's uncomfortable. The body will want to move away from the discomfort, to fix it, to change it. Responding from here, where the body is already tight, has a reactive quality to it. We react to the discomfort. And drop back again, letting that snapshot go. Moving back into your seat, your breath, in the here and now, in your chair. Just kind of moving back into your own skin and disconnecting from the suffering of others is a really important tool, because a lot of the time we don't even notice that we've joined in. And if we can notice, knowing how to drop back and disconnect, sometimes we can feel like we're abandoning them. So consider, again, turning towards compassion, generating a sense of desire for their well-being, feeling that place again in your heart. The warmth that's generated. And how that sits in your body. As you're now connected to this friend of yours, this person who's going through suffering, through compassion. When the body is softer like this, more open and free, it's able to respond. How is that different than the reaction before? Respond. There's no urgency here. Nothing to fix, nothing wrong. And you can see and care for this other, desiring for their well-being. This doesn't stop us from being able to act. This isn't numbing out and dissociating and spiritually bypassing. We're present here. And our system is open enough to sense what's needed, if there's something that's needed. And more often than not, there's not that much to do, but to stay present and offer that sense of warmth and kindness. So in your own body, again, noticing what your capacity is when you're in that state of being. to be able to move towards action and care, and to be able to move back towards your seat, your breath, and what's real for you in this moment. You might play with this exercise and pendulate back and forth, being able to track and navigate between these two, sort of a pendulation, sort of take a snapshot of one and lean into the other. Again, sliding back and forth along that spectrum. This can be a really useful exercise for anyone who considers themselves empathic and has trouble differentiating and setting boundaries. This can be really useful for anyone who works with people, well, especially in healthcare, and works with people who are seeking care for their suffering from you. And it can be useful also as a way to consider if you are not empathic, how empathy might bring up a different set of information. And there can be, it's rare, but there can be some that find it helpful to practice towards the empathic side so that they can understand some of the information in that unconscious nervous system connection. For those of us with that more innate response to empathy, this can be really helpful to give us a sense of using that empathy in short bursts to help us get some information, but to know that the most functional and spacious place where we have the most to give and the most to energy and space to respond is often once we set down the empathy and move back towards compassion. So I hope this little exercise has been helpful for you today to explore this. And I would love to hear any comments or questions. You can post them below in the YouTube link, or if you're one of my students, you can send it to me through the Tending the Field email. So wishing you all a beautiful day. I wish you all are well and happy and free.